about to go down.
It's lovely pass, and here he turns cleverly. Can he find a finish? Oh, he can!
Skill by Joshua, and a return right hand. Good counter right. Bullen is hurt. Second right hand. That clipped him as well. Now he goes in for the kill.
Well, Ricciardo is inching into the lead, and Ricciardo that win the Italian Grand Prix!
Iguodala running the floor.
Still leading the way with Canada in there too, with the Netherlands.
And Musa makes it 4 goals in 2 World Cup matches.
The Monaco Grand Prix! Ricciardo triumphant in Monza.
Through Bowden Barrett and an early touch and an excellent.
Sports Orbit. We make the world go round.
Hello viewers out there, you're welcome to Sports Orbit, reaching you from Leadership TV. My name is Alpha Acho. Salifu Usman is right here at me. Salifu, welcome to Sports Orbit once again.
Thank you, Alpha. Thank you for having me again.
All right, we must apologize to our viewers for starting a few minutes behind usual time when we start 4 p.m. But nevertheless, the show must go on, and we'll begin from the CAF Awards, where Asisat Oshoala, that's the Nigerian striker, has made the final shortlist for the CAF Women CAF Women Awards. She actually made the list alongside Cameroon's Ajara Njoya and, of course, Grace Chanda of Zambia. Then for the final shortlist for the male, as it was expected, is Edward Mendy of Senegal, Mohamed Salah of Egypt, and Sadio Mane of Senegal. Well, Salihu, for me, in the women's category, like we had said here when it was in 10-man shortlist, I was very sure that Oshoala was going to make the final 3. And looking at it, for me, if you ask me, I think she stands a good chance of winning.
You are very correct, Alpha. Just like you say, precisely that was on Monday, Monday where, where we talk about this particular award. That's what we are very optimistic and very sure that Oshoala is definitely going to make a final cut. Because if you look at within the African scene, you are talking of who is the outstanding women player, women football players in the last season. We definitely have to call Oshoala first before you take off another person. I'm not saying it just because he's a compatriot, because he's a Nigerian, but based on what he has been able to put on the pitch in the last 1 year for the Barcelona ladies. And even on the home scene, yes, he may not have done well with the Super Falcons, but with the Barcelonas, he has shown that he has raised the image of African, that African can achieve a lot. And just like you say, if you look at the final cut, the final three shortly women, the Cameroonian girls and the Zambian ladies, I don't know much about it. Then definitely, if you are talking about the football, it clearly shows that CAF, the ongoing WAFCO, have no any role to play in the selection of the African Women Player of the Year. So if that is the case, definitely, I think Oshoala stand tall in a very far distance compared to the 2 other finalists. So Oshoala stand his chance to pick the award tomorrow.
Yeah. And then for the male award, also no surprises there. But some people have been saying they're expecting marriage to be there. But in my opinion, I said, why should marriage be there? I mean, we all know the contributions of Mendy. I mean, last season was a phenomenal season for Mendy, winning almost every final he played in. And of course, his compatriots, Sadio Mane and Mo Salah. Looking at the 3 shortlists for the men's award, who do you think stands a higher chance of taking home this award?
Yeah, you are once again. If you look at the final men's of this, I think I can give kudos to the technical crews or the panelists who are able to come up with this 3 shortlists. It clearly shows that they've done a very thorough job. This is the best 3 Africa have.
Exactly.
Like Edward Mendy, if you talk of him, Yes, a goalkeeper from his goalkeeping positions, he has been able to raise the Africa fly high. He has clearly shown that Africans can be the best goalkeeper in the world. And I'm not surprised by his inclusion. But looking at the three, it clearly, to me, it may likely that Sadio Mane may retain the title once again. Yes, with due respect to Edward Mane and Mohamed Salah, but if you're talking about individual performance, yes, for the Senegalese national team, Mendy was instrumental.
Definitely.
Senegal, Sadio Mane was, both of them were instrumental. But if you talk of the leadership role and taking the responsibility of a team on top of his head,
don't forget that they also won the AFCON.
They also won the AFCON. So if you come to taking, yes, both of them won the AFCON. I'm talking of the Salah, Mendy and Mane. So both of them won the AFCon. But if you're talking of who play a major leading role, yes, from Mendy from his goalkeeping position, he also a part of the leader of the team. But Salah is someone that you need. Sadio Mane is a rallying point in the Senegalese team. So definitely, I think if I am to vote or have them to choose, I think Mane will once again retain that crown for the second consecutive year.
Also for Coach of the Year, men's, of course, Aliou Cissé of Senegal, Carlos Queiroz of Egypt, and Walid Regragui of Wydad Athletic Club. Well, for Coach of the Year,
the Coach of the Year, I think for the men, Cissé stands a distance far from when compared to any other nominee there. And if you are talking of the women Coach of the Year, the South African coach.
Exactly.
The South African coach, and
Ellis.
Ellis. So definitely for me, Ellis stand a very far distance chance to play the women Coach of the Year.
Right, that's for that.
And but one thing I'm very surprised about the young player for African young player of the year. For women, I wonder why a player like Gift Monday should not make a final cut. I'm quite disappointed with CAF for her exclusion from that list, because yes, we may not have a statistic of what African young players are doing with their domestic league, but Monday has distributed herself as a very young player and a player who have shown that the potential he has to grow up. And talking about within the Nigerian league, he has done incredibly well. Even on the representing Falcon, even with Falconet, he did well on the 20 level with the Falconet, and now with Falcon, he has brought him to the Super Falcon team, and he has also been very crucial in the Super Falcon. Although he may not have played a crucial role in the ongoing WAFCON, well, no time to the decision of the coach. The coach knows better why he's always decided to put her on the bench. But everybody, anytime Super Falcon is playing, everybody, all the fans, everyone always wonder why, questioning the technical points of Randy Wando of this decision in putting Monday Gift on the bench. So Monday Gift deserve to be in the final shortlist. If not even the best, to be king. And if I thought they didn't make her inclusion into the one of African Women Club of the Year player, Monday Gift was also not listed in that category.
Right, that's well. So some other news on where the Nigerian Calvin Bassey has finally sealed his move from Rangers to the Dutch champions. That's talking about Ajax actually paid 23 million euros, including add-ons that could rise up to 26.5 million to secure the defender, who is still 22 years old. Recall that Rangers actually bought him from 2 years ago from Leicester City for 230,000 euros. So you can imagine this amount of money Rangers have been able to, almost like 100%. Bought him for 230,000 euros and sold him for 23 million, which could rise to about 26.5 million euros.
Are you talking of 100%? Or are you talking of almost 500% increment?
Yeah,
and it clearly shows what a player can achieve with determination when you are determined to achieve a great success. You know, if I was surprised that Leicester City allowed this player off their foot 2 years ago, just within 2 years ago, where Kevin Bassey is here at the moment. It's now one of the best left back.
Don't forget that at the point Bayern were also signifying interest in him.
And just like I said on Monday here, I see him, if he maintain his progress the way what he has achieved in the last 2 years with Rangers, and if he maintain that consistency, I don't see Kevin Vance spend another 2 years in Ajax.
Yeah.
If he maintain that consistent level, thank God Ajax is going to play the Champions League.
Yeah.
If he maintain that consistent level and be able to break into Ajax first lineup and he hold that number 3 very well for Ajax, definitely I see Kevin Vance moving from Ajax in the next season because he has a great potential ahead of him. The age is still on his side. He has everything going for him at the moment. So Rangers, Leicester will have themselves will be licking their wound now, blaming themselves for allowing this young man off their hook just 2 years ago, and now he's one of the greatest left back in the world.
All right, we'll go on a quick break, and when we come back, Sport Orbit continues. Don't go nowhere.
For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.
Sports Orbit. We make the world go round.
All right, welcome back from that short break. You're still on to Sports Orbit now. Away from that now, President of the Nigerian Football Federation, Amaju Pinnick, has showered encomiums on the Super Falcons for a valiant display despite several odds and obstacles in their Women AFCON semi-final against Morocco. And he has assured that adequate preparation for the next FIFA Women World Cup in New Zealand and Australia. He said, our girls did a massive job on the night. They were not only depleted but challenged by laser lights trained on their eyes by the crowd. And armored by their resilience and tenacity. The next step now is for the Federation to do everything possible to prepare for the team adequately for the FIFA World Cup finals coming up next year. He added that he is delighted with the strong lineup at the moment, with the under-20 girls, under-17 having also qualified for the respective FIFA World Cup tournaments. Well, I mean, even without announcing it, what Nigerians, the least Nigerians expect from Pinnick and his head of his charges at the federation is to prepare adequately. I mean, it's not something to announce. It's their duty to ensure that they prepare adequately for the World Cup.
Yes, of course, I agree. It's not something to announce. Sometimes it's just like in this side of the world, some certain things that is your responsibility to do. You just want to do as if you are doing anywhere and somebody favor. Like the governor will tell you, say, I know owe salary, I pay salary, as if the workers are not deserving they are paid to be paid. So the governor sometimes take account paying salaries and achievement. So preparing Super Falcons adequately, it shouldn't be seen as an achievement or as it's a responsibility of the federation to do. But sometimes when the federations sleep on their duties and without knowing what they are doing, it's good to come out and give the guarantee that I'm going to prepare the team to adequately for World Cup. And in fairness to them, I think based on the program lineup that we have seen, if they are going to implement just a program that has been lined up for the team, it will really put the team in the best position for the World Cup ahead. Just like we say, they have a friendly two-legged affair against the US team, and after that they will play Japan again. If all those friendlies are lined up for the team to prepare them for the World Cup, that will be a very good preparation. It has to go with the motivation to also motivate the players. And these are the teams. And the good things are just like you say, there's a build-up process from the other 20 teams. There's nothing wrong that the coach Ron and his technical crew need to look inward looking within the players who are within the under 20 level. Under 20 level, they are as good as mature playing for the national team, for the senior national team. Looking at them and then looking at the sport we have of women, look at the age ones who are feel that they are retired. You know, sometimes experience matters a lot, but also you also need the youth experience and the stamina to carry on. Football belongs to the youth. Football belongs to the young age. So if you feel there's need to, where you need to augment to build up the team, there's nothing wrong with looking between the other things and bring those new players, young players who can adequately replace the aging ones, or if they're not even replaced, just stay there to also at least to serve as a backup. In the case that if the experience cannot come, you bring the youth to come in to use their youth exuberance and the stamina to carry the team on. So Pinnick and his board, just like they need to carry on their job and do the needful. But the fortunate thing is that I hope Pinnick will stay. I don't pray that I should hope. Pinnick, whatever assurance is give the team, the World Cup is next year.
Yeah.
Pinnick has less than 2 months to leave the office of the Nigeria Football Federation for the. But we pray that his predecessor who are coming will be able to take from the program they have line up for and implement it so that they ensure that the Super Falcons are adequately prepared well for the World Cup, and then Pinnick can go and look after his business. He has done the best he can do on the football.
Yeah, still on women's football, where a Bayana legend that's talking about Portia Modise has said that, attributed the loss of, even though I don't agree with her, attributed the loss of the Super Falcons to Morocco to fielding of, players who, in her opinion, she feels should have retired. Yes, in that aspect, I might agree. Like she said that, I mean, she's still seeing players who she played with who are still, playing in the game of football. But that it's time for the old guard to step aside and give a chance to the young ones. In that one, I agree with her totally. But saying that was the reason why Nigeria lost completely, she is not talking about the poor officiating, the 2 red cards we got. So it has nothing to do with old players. Yes, but I agree with her that yes, it's time for some of these players to actually could leave the stage for players coming to come through the ranks.
Yeah, what is trusting that is the normal procedures in the whole in the game of football.
Exactly.
If you are getting old, you give space for the younger one. But I think the Bayana legend is being celebrating the Super Falcon
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, she said it clearly.
He said, okay, thank
Yeah,
you.
that she's happy
the
that
Super
Nigeria
Falcons
is not in the final, that they've dominated for so many years, but this time around.
So he's celebrating the Super Falcons
exactly.
and I don't agree with that. Yes, that the Super Falcons players are aging. Sometimes there's something you have to understand in football critically. The fact that you play against somebody does not make her older.
At all.
For instance,
Exactly.
Cristiano Ronaldo is still playing. Wayne Rooney have retired from football close to 3 years ago.
Yeah, the likes of Gerrard and Red all played with him, but they're all coaches now.
They are all coaches now.
Yeah.
They have retired.
Exactly.
So even Ryan Giggs that he would play with, all of them are coaches now. Messi is still playing.
Yeah.
Messi played with Javis and others played with
Exactly.
they are not of the age. The fact that you play with somebody does not mean that she's saying that the Super Falcons are always used. I don't agree with that. She started playing 2002. In 2000.
Yeah.
And play up to the 2015. That's close 15 years playing for the national team. In that same 2000 he was playing. Perpetual Okocha, Mercy Akinde, they are all playing together at that time. Mercy Akinde, Perpetual Okocha, and the rest and all of them have all retired. Even she that even hold on to 2015 also stay long on the pitch. So he can't tell me that most of the players that he can't. She point out at the end of the player that he started playing with in 2000. None of the present player of the Super Falcons started playing in 2000. Even the who is an age players in the team didn't start playing in 2000. So you can't say that most of the Super Falcons. Yes, we agree that we need experience to also back up the team. But just like say, it's not the aging side of the Super Falcons that made them to lose that phone. An aging teams, an old team who were able to hold on their own with two player down and play for another complete 90 minutes, complete 50 minutes with less 2 players. And still, Morocco could not win the match until he had to take a penalty. And penalty is just like a lottery. It's anybody's game, anybody can win.
Exactly. Well, away from that now to the Commonwealth, where the Nigerian Olympic Committee said a total of 731 Nigerian journalists actually applied to cover the 2022 Commonwealth games. He said no fewer than 731 journalists applied for accreditation. They've been the highest number they've ever seen. A large number were declined, and I quote him, but it took the intervention of the NOC and the Commonwealth to accredit the number that were eventually allowed to cover the games. Well, he didn't state the number that were allowed. So, and speaking further, he said, I will appeal to the journalists. That's where I find a disconnect. I will appeal to the journalists covering the game. Yes, that's right. But he said there's need for confirmation of any information before writing. Please contact the NOC. Another one is like get clearance from the NOC before you put your story out. Well, I don't know what to make of it. 731. We don't know how many were accredited, but here we are presenting Sports Orbit in the studio, which should have been preparing to go up to Birmingham to Salifu.
But you applied.
But you applied.
I get accreditations. I have accreditations. Okay. I have accreditation for the Commonwealth Games. I'm just looking for the financial support.
Yeah.
So the leadership can take that responsibility. I have my accreditations, and just like you say, it clearly shows how passionate Nigerians are, and how determined Nigerians are. That in the world of sport, yes, we may not be up there as one of the best sporting nations in the world, but we are passionate about where it came to give us sport. Sport is one thing that unites Nigerians together. It is the language of sport that the whole Nigerians speak, and speak. When it comes to sport, we speak one language. But when we come back home, everybody go back to his shelf, claim the religion he belongs to, claim the region he belongs to, claim the tribe he belongs to. But when it comes to sport, we see ourselves as Nigerians, and that is why when it comes to sport, we don't think to see nobody should accuse us that we are doing it. It's because that is what we have passion for, and that is what we love for. And it clearly shows that why we have 700. I don't even think the Britain who are hosting the game have that highest of number applying to cover the game. So. I know the British organizer, we can't give Nigerians as much as that number, but even the number that we accredited, in as much as the NOC were not magnanimous enough to tell us the actual number of Nigerian journalists that were accredited for. I don't think the organizer will give at least the maximum they can give 20 journalists. I don't think they'll give more than 20 journalists, if at all they give, because at the last Olympic, it's only 10 Nigerian journalists that were accredited to go and cover the last Olympic. But for this Commonwealth game, although NOC does not declare the actual number that body, but I don't think it can be more than 20 or highest maximum 30.
Exactly.
But instead of people condemning that Nigerians are overdoing, to me, I give a kudos and I applaud Nigerian journalists to always willing to decide their responsibility and always willing to get information right and to be where things are happening.
Away from that, so our final story before we leave. Where Coach Randy Waldrum, that's coach of the Super Falcons, has actually defended his tactics in the Super Falcons exit to Morocco in that semi-final encounter. Well, for a lot of media personnel, they actually were on his neck for not pulling out Ifeoma Onumonu, who missed the spot kick, saying that the striker had played for all of 120 minutes and he should have made a substitution to bring on a fresher leg. Well, you see, in football games, once someone does a penalty miss, people start saying all kinds of things. But I mean, penalty is anybody's game. Anybody can miss a penalty. You could still bring a fresh leg and they'll still miss. Some players who even stayed on for you still just scored their penalty. So for me, I don't really think that should be a basis for saying you should have changed that or anything like that.
I don't think most of the analysts and most of the book analysis, to as far as the technical know-how of the game of the Orange are accusing him or because of the penalty missed by Ifeoma Onumonu. But Ifeoma Onumonu, if you watch that game clearly, if you can see go to it and replay it and watch it again. Ifeoma Onumonu were almost on holiday on the pitch, and yes, we are not saying he's not good enough, but in that particular game that very day, he was not on duty at all. And when you have a player like Monday on the bench, and at the same time when he wanted to play Monday, remember look at the player he removed. Instead of where you have Ifeoma Onumonu, he was not contributing when the team are playing with the 2 men down, 2 women down. He could have removed her for Monday and allow the lady. The lady he put from the midfield for Monday to came in at the last minute. So her technical, whatever he's trying to say, her tactic has come into question to do this game. For instance, a team score a goal at the 61 minute where they're already one man down, one woman down. So I'm always referring to where already one player down. So in that case, if it seems to remain the player as a coach, what in a coach normal to a good coach need to talk. He should talk to his player, gently cool down and play the game and hold the game down. Not allowing them after you can't score a game at the minute. You remember that when you score an opponent, you should know that the opponent will come for you immediately to equalize that goal. And what a coach should have done to the player at that time and tell them that is to allow them to hold on the game and cool down the game and slow down the tempo of the game, not to go for a hurry for attacking to close, hoping to score another goal immediately. But if you have allowed them, talk to them to their sense to allow the game to play the game down and hold that goal at least for another. Maintain that goal at least for another 10 minutes. Remember the Morocco equalized almost immediately 4 minutes later after they scored the goal. If they have hold down that goal for 10 minutes, Morocco would have found it difficult. The game would have stabilized. Would have found it difficult to stabilize and equalize that goal. So either he liked it or not, her technical know-how of that game is questionable, and he should also be ashamed himself, having spent most of money on his game. This is the least we can get at the WAFCON. WAFCON is the tournament who have dominated for a very long time. And we are coming here having bringing a best coach we thought that is better than our own coach, and he cannot even achieve what our own edition schools have achieved.
Of course, no matter how you dominate a particular condition, that dominance always has.
He has an error. He has an error.
Exactly.
But he shouldn't end or should he end on his own head?
Well, but I think his main target of qualifying for the World Cup was achieved.
We are not qualifying for World Cup for the first time.
No, I agree.
We are playing at every edition of the World Cup, so it's not special achievement.
No, but
so he shouldn't feel that he has achieved a lot.
No, but I don't think we should expect that every competition the Super Falcons go into, they should win the trophy. Like we say, even female football has changed completely.
Yeah, but we didn't go there to make a number. We ended to defend the title.
No, I agree.
And if he couldn't defend the title, he should take the responsibility of that. He shouldn't give us excuse that.
No, I agree. One point I'm trying to make is no matter who was the coach, irrespective, I'm sure he would have still gone anyway.
No, I don't think so. If another coach would have handled that team, the technical know-how of the game would have solved the situation.
Well,
and one thing is that he's saving grace is that the girls that's why played 2 man down. The girls were able to hold on, not due to his own technical, system, because of the resilience and determination of the girls.
No matter how good a team is, if you play, that's why football is 11-11. No matter how good a team is, if you're playing 2 man down, it's always very difficult.
It's always very difficult, and that is part of the thing we are blaming him for his technical this thing. Make better changes at the right time.
All right, that's that for that. Well, we'll look up for another story we heard today was that these Falcons actually refused to train due to bonuses not being paid to them. I actually saw that story quite a few minutes before I came into the studio, but I mean, we always hear of these stories over and over again. Please, the NFF should do the needful and pay up their bonuses.
Well, we heard from Alpha there. There's a good, if it is true that the Falcons are insisting not to train because of issues of bonus, and those girls have suffered a lot. They don't need to be subjected to any harm or hardship, rather than what they have went through. They have done the country proud. That's why in defeat, everybody, the whole continent is coming them up. So Nigeria should not be disappointed. Nigeria should not show them any symbol of reverence or disappointment at all.
All right, that's where we slam the brakes on today's episode of Sports Orbit. Tomorrow we'll be back again with another exciting and refreshing episode of Sports Orbit. Salifu, once again, thank you for being in the studio today again.
Thank you, Alpha. It's always a pleasure.
All right, until come your way tomorrow again, stay safe out there. My name is Alpha Cho, and it's bye-bye from here.
Thank you for watching. For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.